Alright, we are going to get started on the brakes here in the front. And most of the aftermarket disc brake setups for these old cars work the same way, whereby you're going to take the old caliper mounting locations, cut them off, and then you end up drilling out the locations where the dust shield mounts were. We're looking at the driver's side here. So come over and look at the driver's side. So if you look at the spindle here, this is where the calipers are going to mount now, and this is where it was cut away. All this stuff was cut away right here. I'll try and see if I can find a picture of the before. I think I took one, but I don't know where it is. Maybe I can find a picture online. I'll just insert it right here, right now, to show the difference between the before and after. That being the after. So I did that a long time ago. And as you can see here, they need to be drilled out as such and countersunk, which was done. I don't think he countersunk them very much, if at all. I may have to do that. I'm going to get the brackets out and look at it, because from looking at the picture, this is a general picture, it's not specific to this car. It doesn't look like you need a countersink on that location. So let me get all these brackets out and stuff, and we'll see whether that matters or not. Yeah, so I don't think the countersink matters on here. They call for it, but this is a flush mount here. This bracket goes on here like this. So, sorry, like this. So I don't think the countersink's necessary. Alright, so this is how this bracket goes together. So this goes on here with these two bolts, and then this is where the caliper actually mounts to here. Screws in from the back. So once you've got this guy lined up, making sure you got good contact with the spindle, and these guys get locked down with red Loctite and torqued to 40 foot-pounds. So I'm going to do that now. Okay, next order of business is installing the wheel studs. So you need to check these because this has the pattern for 5 by 4 3/4 and 5 by 4 1/2. I have 5 by 4 3/4, so that's this pattern here. So fill that out. All right, so I just got those poking out a little bit. It's pretty, isn't it? Anyway, poke those out a little bit, and then I laid the rotor on the wheel to make sure I got the right bolt pattern, and then make sure that fits in. So that's all good. So I have everything lined up right here, and then these need to be torqued down to 77 foot-pounds or something like that, which I have to figure out how I'm going to torque that. What am I going to use to hold this thing while I'm torquing it? It'll be a little interesting. See if we can figure it out. Alright, we got this hub done. What we did on the bolts was we stuck a big long screwdriver through here to use as a lever. We put a piece of cloth around it to try and not destroy the hub. So that's done. Got the castle nut back on, cotter pin. There's a washer that they supply that goes there. So this guy's done. Now we're ready to start putting the rest of the hardware together. Alright, we got this guy assembled. Not without issues though. I have these lock nuts on here that hold the caliper on, and they're really out of round kind of lock nuts, and so they're really hard to get started. And of course this one's stripped, so when you have to torque these down to 30 foot-pounds, this guy torqued just fine. This one just spins and spins and spins. So that's screwed, which means I have to replace this bracket in here, which means I have to take all of this stuff apart again. I got everything set with the gaps and everything. I got it all calibrated and lined up, and I have to take it all apart again when I get that part. So I have to order new nut, new bracket. Irritating as hell. But anyway, this is all done. Everything spins nicely, no friction. Looks good. So we're going to put the wheel on and see how it looks for the first time.
And proportion problem.
Alright. What do we think? I think it looks pretty nice. Dad and I are pretty happy with that. Got a nice roll to it. It looks good. It's not so hard to turn this thing now. So you got some leverage with the wheel. Everything looks good. So that side's done. We said we have to get that new part from Wilwood and tear it all apart and do it again, but at least we got it mostly together and see how it's supposed to look. So that's a winner, and we'll move on to the driver's side.